children, good afternoon. So today we are going to see occupational hazard and how to obtain silk from silk moth. In the previous class we have learned about wool, how we are obtaining it from animals. So now we are going to see what are the hazards. Hazards means problems or risks faced by people working in wool industry. Okay, so now we are going to see silk, how we are obtaining silk, what are the process, and from where we are getting the silk. In the beginning we are going to see occupational hazards. Occupational hazards means nothing but risks faced by workers in the industry. So what are the risks faced by the people working in the wool industry? That's what we are going to study. They get bacterial infection. They are taking the silk from there, no? So they are getting bacterial infection called anthrax. This is attacking sorters. We have learned, right? Sorters, they sort the wool obtained from the animal according to texture, smooth and colors, right? So they will get a bacterial infection called anthrax, and it is also called sorters disease, because the sorters are the one who is affecting by this disease, and they are also getting another infection which is affecting their lungs, because the small fabrics that goes inside their lungs, right? So they are getting some diseases involving lungs also. These are the factors, the risks that people working in the industry is facing. So next we are going to learn about silk. Silk is smooth, soft and lustrous material. It is dyed after getting from the silk moth. Okay, so how we are getting this soft material from an insect or animal? Okay, so sericulture is the process by which we are obtaining this fibers from the silk. Sericulture means nothing but rearing of silkworms or silk moths to obtain this silk from them. So sericulture is nothing but rearing of silk moths to obtain silk from the silkworms or silk moth. So there are different types of silk, like we have seen different kinds of wools and fabrics, right? Likewise there are different types of silks too. What are the types of silk? Tassar silk, Moga silk, Kosa silk and Mulberry silk. Out of these, Mulberry silk is the most common silk. They are seen in almost everywhere in India. So where are the silks obtained? So where are these silks produced? So China is the largest silk producing country. China produces more silks. Okay, so first China produces the more silks in the world, and then second India produces the more silks. In India, what are the places these silks are produced? First, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. These are the places where silk is obtained or produced. So now let's see what is the cycle involves, how this silkworm grows or silk moth grows, and how we are obtaining silk from them. First we have female silk moth. It produces eggs, like hundreds of eggs at a single time. It produces hundreds of eggs at a single time, and then it gets hatched and produces small caterpillars or silkworm, and this silkworm eats mulberry leaves, newly formed mulberry leaves for 25 to 30 days. Okay, then after eating this much of mulberry leaves, it grows. Okay, it grows into a large thing called larva or larvae. Larvae is many larvas are called larvae. So they form a silk material. It's a protein called cocoon. It produces a protein called cocoon and covers itself with a cocoon. It produces it from its mouth and then covers it with this protein called cocoon, and then it goes inside that cocoon for 2 to 3 weeks. In this stage, the caterpillar or silkworm is called pupa. It turns to larva after eating 25 to 30 days of mulberry leaves, and then it enters into pupa stage. Okay, after staying in this cocoon for 2 to 3 weeks, a new silk moth, a new silk moth produces. This silk moth gets reproduction. It gets cross with male and female and produces more eggs, and the life cycle continues. What small caterpillars or silkworm is produced, and then they eat 25 to 35 days mulberry leaves and then becomes larger larva, and then they form cocoon all around their body and stays there for 2 to 3 weeks and becomes a silk moth. This is the life cycle of the silk moth. Okay, now we are going to see how we are producing silk from this silkworm. So first one, when the producers get the eggs, what they will do is they will sell it to the silk farmers in a piece of paper or piece of cloth. They will keep it in a piece of paper or in a piece of fabric and give it to the farmers. These farmers, they will preserve it in a clean, humidity and temperature. They will keep this eggs in a clean and humidity temperature according to the eggs for days. When the mulberry tree produces new leaves, that time they will keep it in a high temperature, warm temperature, so that the larva will come out of it. So when the new mulberry leaves forms, they will warm the temperature so that the caterpillar comes out of it or comes out of the egg. Then what they will do? They will keep it in a tray. Okay, they will keep it in a tray for that to come out and eat mulberry leaves kept in the tray. The caterpillar will eat this mulberry leaves newly formed leaves for 25 to 30 days, all day and night also. Then they will grow bigger and form cocoon all over them, covering their whole body. The inside thing is called pupa and the outside cover is called cocoon. From cocoon only we are obtaining silk. This pupa, with this pupa inside, we will collect all the cocoons. Okay, we will pile them we will collect all this pupa along with cocoon and boil them in a water, or we'll keep it in a sun. We will keep it in a boiling water or keep it in a sun so that the cocoon will get separated from the pupa. Pupa and cocoon will get separated. Then we will get after the separation of cocoon from pupa, we will get silk from the cocoon by machines. We use machines to separate these cocoons from the pupa and get spun yarns. So what we will do, after getting separated cocoons, we will use machines to spun the yarns, okay, which we get from the cocoon. Then what will we do? We will make that yarns into fabrics by process of weaving and weaving. Weaving is done by machines, as we learned in the previous class. Weaving is done by machines and looms, either electrical or hand looming. So that's all for today's class. Read the lesson carefully and answer the questions in the last. Okay. Bye children.